year we have the Greenville Police Department, the Pitt County Sheriff's Office, Winterville Police Department, Ayden Police Department, Pitt Community College, ECU Health, and then also the North Carolina State Highway Patrol. And while we have dedicated officers that have got many years of experience working at ECU football games that work at the ECU Police Department, with the volume of fans that we have, it's just not an event that we can do on our own. Really, no agency could do it on their own. So having the partnering agencies that come in and assist us are crucial to be able to provide the safe environment that our fans deserve, and also the visitors that come in, they also deserve that as well.
Has there been any communication with residential areas surrounding this stadium, and if so, what's that looking like?
So typically we have information that is sent out normally over social media that communicates that. Anybody around the stadium knows that there's at least 6 Saturdays or Saturdays and Thursdays out of the year where this stadium will likely be close to capacity, full of people. And that's a great thing. When this stadium is full, it's a good thing for Greenville and for Pitt County. When ECU does good, Greenville does good.
Do you have recommended detours for people who might be in the stadium area and need to get somewhere else?
So if you're not coming to the game, but you typically use Greenville Boulevard, Charles Boulevard, 14th Street, Elm Street, 10th Street, but you're not coming, I would advise you drive a couple of roads over. So maybe instead of Greenville Boulevard, go down to Red Banks. Instead of 10th Street, maybe go down to 5th Street. Use those alternate roadways. It may add a little bit of time or mileage to your drive, but it would reduce the time that you're having to sit in traffic.
Let's talk about tailgating. I know everybody wants to have a good time tailgating, but how do people avoid having that bad time and getting a visit from y'all?
Well, it's going to be really warm on Saturday. The temperature range and heat index will run somewhere between 95 and 100 degrees, and so that temperature on your body is hard enough. And if you've been enjoying and you become intoxicated, you're not taking care of your body and putting in as much water as you're putting in alcohol, there's a chance you may not make it to the end of the game. You may not even make it out of the stadium without having some help getting you out. And so it's real important that our fans are hydrated properly. If they start drinking water today, by Saturday, they'd be in good shape. If you start drinking water Saturday morning, then it's not going to help you out a whole lot. Body chemistry just doesn't work like that. And then depending on how much alcohol you're consuming, that will play a role in how well you fare as the tailgate lots go along, and then when you come into the stadium, because even at 6 o'clock, it's still going to be 90 plus degrees. And inside the stadium, it's a lot hotter than it is outside the stadium because it just absorbs and attracts the heat. So we are a little worried about heat-related illnesses for our fans that come in. We'll have our heat management plan that will be in place, which would mean that we would have additional cooling stations around the stadium that would be set up. We'd have additional water that would be available, and then also additional EMS personnel. Greenville Fire Rescue and EMS is great. They help us out tremendously, and they're able to staff and help us with mitigating any medical needs as much as possible.
What are the alcohol rules? I mean, just inside the stadium, outside the stadium as well?
So inside the stadium, outside the stadium, you have to be 21 to be consuming. We sell alcohol inside of our stadiums when the game opens or the gates open. So you can purchase as long as you're over 21. And then the alcohol points of sale close right before the fourth quarter. You have beer and wine that you're able to purchase inside. No liquor. Outside the stadium, those same rules apply where you can bring beer and wine, but not liquor. And then no kegs inside any of our tailgate lots. And really, you just have to be responsible. You have to be an adult. You have to take care of yourself. We'll have people that will be out that can help you, but it actually comes down to the consumer to manage how much you're taking in your body.
Could you just go over the road closures and just the general protocol of the day for me again real quick?
Sure. So our lots open at noon, and so Charles Boulevard, Greenville Boulevard, 14th Street, Elm Street, 10th Street, all of those streets will be really impacted by traffic. 4 hours before kickoff, So that would be 2 o'clock. 14th Street will close from Elm down to Charles Boulevard, and then it will reopen about an hour to an hour and a half after the game is over with. And for motorists, it's just important that they're aware and watching out for pedestrians crossing the road.
And then what about like, so I know we talked about safety outside the stadium.